Hi folks. Yeah, now I mentioned the River Church many times. And the reason is because I fully believe that God wanted me to go to that church to show me just how far church has come from where it should be. Just how insanely far it's come from where it should be. Yeah, because I was astounded on many occasions. I come back here thinking, what on earth did I just see there? I'll mention many, but not all of those occasions. Yeah. So there's one night on the Tuesday night meeting where we were split into two separate loads. One going into one room, one going into another. And the lady who says that God wanted her to be in charge was in the room that I was in. And the seats were arranged in a sort of circle. And we were all invited to say something. And the woman on my left, on my right, she was struggling big time. She'd been asked for what she wanted to say. And it was 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. And I just said to her, do you want me to take my turn and we can come back to you in a second? Then the woman in charge of the meeting says, excuse me, I'm in charge of this meeting. Let her have her turn. And again, I'm thinking, excuse me? I'm trying to be helpful to this lady because she's struggling. She's been put on the spot and she's struggling. Some people will. Some people maybe just need a moment to get themselves together. Because maybe she thought she'd be last rather than first or second. She'd be near the last, therefore having time. But anyway, so, yeah. Yeah. Well, as I say, and the person who said that Jeff Oakes, well, basically that he had asked Jeff to be his spiritual father, and Jeff had said yes. He's the same man who, Jeff asked to speak on that Sunday when Jeff was going back to America to get his wife. And again, Jeff said to me, when Jeff spoke to me about what I'd said on my video about what the bloke had said, Jeff said that he had listened to the audio of the message. It's what this man brought. And he didn't think the bloke did too bad at all. I said, excuse me, the bloke said that they should have let Barabbas go instead of Jesus. I said, if that happened, we wouldn't actually be here talking about it. There'd be no Christianity. We'd all have to pay for our own sins, in which case we'd all be going to hell. He's saying that should have happened. Standing in a church saying that should have happened. Idiotic stupidity. Only a complete moron would be thinking that God sent his son down here to die, but his son should have been spared going through that so that we have to bloody die. Yeah. You see the stupidity of it, right? And Jeff Oakes didn't actually say, Jeff Oakes only said, but what he meant. Excuse me, he said exactly what he meant. He had days to prepare his message. He said exactly what he meant. This was the same man saying that he had said to Jeff, can you be my spiritual father? So again, the man himself, pretty much that, to me, if someone comes to me and says, can you be my spiritual father? At no point in time in the near future would I ever allow that person to be presenting some sort of ministry. No way, shit. Because if they don't even know that they already have a spiritual father, how are they going to be put forward? The only reason you put them forward is because you really couldn't give a damn about the people that person is speaking to. You couldn't care less about the ministry that they're getting. That's the only reason why you're putting forward. Or you don't take any notice of what people there are saying to you. So Jeff Oakes either didn't take any notice of what that person was saying, just said yes because he's a people pleaser, or he couldn't care less about the people. Right? As I say, so many things just, like, I'm looking and I'm thinking, what on earth? So many times I'm having to bite my tongue because, I'm just, should I say something? I said to Father, should I say something? Every time he's saying to me, there's no point. There is no point. They will not receive. And also, had I said something, to be honest, I would have said something in the same tone as I've just said that. Because I'm still astounded by that sort of nonsense being done in church. And the people thinking that that is good. Right? Because this person said he's not the only person to have asked Jeff to be his spiritual father. Other people have done so. And Jeff has said yes to them as well. Only an American. Now, I'm not saying that a Spanish person like Manuel wouldn't do that, because I think Manuel would. But if Manuel has done it, then he's been watching way too many American movies where he's got the same attitude that the world needs us. We are so mighty, we are so wonderful. Because isn't that how America thinks? That they are the gift to the world. That God created America as the best and most wonderful nation to ever exist. Even though pornography comes from America, most horrible drugs that people get addicted to come from America, or they're certainly spread around the world by America. Gambling, most of that comes from America. Things like the lottery and stuff like that, America. There's so much that's nasty in the world that has come from America. And yet Americans think somehow that they are the chosen of God. It's that absolute arrogance. Again, it's partly down to the history. It's partly down to the education of Americans, that they want to dumb down the people. Because the American people are probably the dumbest of all. And that's not just me saying it, that is recorded with regards to education. They are the worst educated amongst the world's population, basically, amongst other countries. But you can see that in the attitude and the way of Americans. I mean, we hear stories of Brits abroad and they can get drunk and they can be a bit leery, but compared to Americans, Jesus, there's no, absolutely none. And all of these Karens, all that's all come from America. That sort of attitude. Yeah, it's a toxic place upon the world, America. All these Americanisms like, Levi's and McDonald's and, horrendous. And you'd ask, what good have they actually brought to the world? As a country, we know that there have been great Spaniards, great French, great British people in the past that have brought wonderful things to the world. America, what on earth have they brought that's been of any worth, of any use? But they believe, and I'm not saying they haven't, of course not. Of course they probably have brought loads, but that's not really the point, is it? The point of it is, compared to what they think they've done, compared to where they think they are in the world as the most intelligent people, even now we have an election coming up, and most of the world know it's quite likely that Trump will be elected again. When Trump got elected, most nations completely lost respect for America. Completely. And you have the right-wing church that thinks that Trump is a godsend. What, this womanizer, this person who lies, this person who cheats, is a godsend. Is a person that God sent to actually sort out America. Really? Yeah. Delusion. And only in America can you have the Christian right. Not in any other nation, really, can you have the Christian right. I suppose you can now, because they may have been introduced from the idea that came from America, but it would have started in America, wouldn't it, really, the Christian right. Certainly one can believe that would be the case. You don't ever see in the Bible there being such a thing as a Christian right. You can see politically the alt-right, but they were never considered to be Christian, except in America. So I'm not talking about the alt-right had to come from America, because of course that came from other nations and it existed before America did. But the Christian right? No, that's American. That whole idea that Christians can be political and should be heavily involved in politics, and yeah, as I say, being hateful. Because certainly in the 80s and 90s and after that, you had Americans standing outside of abortion clinics saying horrendously nasty things about the people involved in that practice. Very, very judgmental, showing no mercy, no grace, no love. And then, talking about homosexuals, again, America, giving it loads about that. God hates fags. Again, no, he doesn't. He doesn't. Homosexuality is a sin. But there are hundreds of different sins, and most of us commit the other ones. Right? If God hates that sin, it means he hates all the rest. Which means if God hates homosexuals, it means he hates all of us. Right? Of course, not to Americans, though. No. No, as I say, it is quite astonishing. I mean, even the associate pastor. Again, what blew my mind was the associate pastor has worked underneath Jeff Oakes for many, 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 many years, and basically bows down to him. Yeah. Almost worships Jeff Oakes. Almost. Where's the accountability? At all? Is there any? Jeff Oakes is the pastor and the teacher, and the assistant pastor stroke teacher is someone who is almost in love with Jeff Oakes. Right? Of course not in love with him, because I'm not saying the bloke is gay. I wouldn't be saying that, and if he is, that's up to him. I'm not judging him on that. But I'm talking about accountability. You have to have accountability in the leader, otherwise that leader is free, and the devil can play wonderful games with the leader and with the church because there's no accountability. That's according to church understanding, not mine, theirs. And yet in churches all over the place there is no accountability. No desire for it. And again, it comes down to that arrogance that if it's an American pastor, there doesn't need to be accountability. Yeah. I wish America well as a nation. I mean, I wish the people in America well. But, yeah. Even Americans know that America produces people with incredible understandings about where they are in the world when they're nowhere near that. Nowhere near. You ask Americans who are the most intelligent, they'll say Americans. And yet, with regards to, say, education, America are right at the bottom of the tables in most areas of education. But, well, that's partly because, again, their education system is designed on sports jocks being the most important people in America. Pride is a huge thing in America. I'm not talking about since homosexuality. I'm talking about even this point about sports and, in college you've got the big, strong people are the ones that the college really cares about and focuses on. There's a lot of pride in that. It's a very, very proud nation. And so, no, we shouldn't be going to that nation for leaders. We should be sending good leaders to that nation because they need it. They really do need it. So, there you go. You take care. God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Enjoy. Take care.